All right, I'm going to show you how I hook people up and introduce you to one of my clients and let him share his experience with you a little bit so you can get a better understanding of how the EEG biofeedback or neurofeedback works. So I'm just going to be putting a little paste on the sensors and putting these on his scalp and ears. And as I do that, I'll just have him talk a little bit about his experience here and share with you what he's found from being here. So, do you want to share a little bit about why you came and what it's been like for you?
Sure. In August of 2011, I was diagnosed with the NFL syndrome, which is brain damage from multiple concussions. After I was diagnosed, my wife and I spent a lot of time looking for somebody who could do neurofeedback, and we came to Dr. Lewick. And they had told me, meaning Dr. Lewick had said they would probably take between 8 to 10 visits before I would start noticing a change, which I started noticing a change within the first 3 visits. Before that, I had a hard time speaking. Memory was completely gone. I can now remember things that actually have happened in the past, as well as things that my wife says to me now. I'm much more relaxed, where earlier I would fly off the handle and be a lot more upset with either my family or with coworkers. This has been an overall experience that I could never even dreamt of. It's giving me my life back, and it's very innovative and it's extremely rewarding.
And Jeff is a little different from many of my clients. How far do you come for your sessions?
68 miles one way.
Okay, so he comes from a distance, and generally we have 2 sessions in one day. The EEG biofeedback, it's kind of like going to the YMCA. The more frequently you do it, the better the results you get. So if I only go to the gym twice a month and work out, no one's going to notice that I'm getting in shape. But if I go 2, 3, 4 times a week, then pretty soon people are going to notice that there's an improvement. So Jeff comes in and we meet for 2 hours in one day. So we meet once in the morning, he takes a little break for lunch, and then we meet again after that. So I'm going to show you what we do. So right now we're going to do what's called a pre-baseline analysis. So we're going to look at his brain and kind of see how it's doing before the neurofeedback, and then we're going to do a post-baseline analysis as well, so we can see what changes there are. So if you'll hold still, Jeff. So this represents his brainwave patterns. This is the left side of his brain. This is the right side of his brain. It's measured from 1 cycle to 42 cycles per second, and how far out these bars come shows, close your eyes, Jeff, shows the amount of activity at that frequency. So we do 15 seconds with the eyes open and then 15 seconds with the eyes closed, and then we kind of get a snapshot of where his brain is at. Open your eyes. So we're going to save that, and then we get a picture here, and this is going to be the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, and then there's a scale here that shows me the amplitude of those frequencies, so I can kind of measure where his brain is at the beginning, and then we start the neurofeedback, and then we do an assessment at the end. So what other symptoms or problems did you have that you were concerned about when you came?
Fatigue, very poor sleep. I also experienced a lot of knee pain in my left knee, where I was told I need a knee replacement. And I started coming to see Dr. Lewick in, I believe, October. I was wearing a knee brace then. I no longer wear a knee brace, and my pain level is very minimal. My sleep pattern is still very sporadic, but we're working on that.
And we're in January right now, so that's about three months worth of work. These are a list of some of the issues that Jeff has been working on, and so every week that he comes in, we have him rate where he's at with these symptoms. So I don't know how clearly you can see what's on here, but you can see that they started out at yeah, we got some 4s, 5s, 3s, and they've gone up nicely. And this last visit as of today, so today's January 6th, they're at 8, 8, 6, 8, 9, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9. So that's pretty amazing. And again, I don't know if you can read what all those issues are, but that shows a little bit. Talk about your migraines a little bit, Jeff.
I used to have a lot of migraines to where I couldn't even function. The only thing I really could do was sit in the dark and wait for them to go away. And I believe I have been headache free for, I think this is my 4th week. So for 4 weeks now I have not had any migraines, where before it was almost daily.
So you would say that makes a big difference in your life experience?
Not a big difference, the difference.
Okay, very good. I'm going to show you a little bit what we're doing. So the way the EEG biofeedback works is each of these boxes on here represents like a target or a bullseye. We want a certain amount of electrical activity within each of these boxes. As long as his brain is producing the proper brain waves, these white bars stay within the box and the music plays smoothly, and there's a picture which I'll show you in a moment which moves smoothly. When his brain produces too much or too little of a certain frequency, then the white bar goes outside of the box and the music will stutter or stop, or there'll be a very brief pause in the music. It's kind of like if you're walking down the street next to me and I bump into you and knock you off balance, your body reorients itself and says, hey, you know, and it kind of gets established again. When the music stops, it's kind of like the brain is pushed, and then it has to reorient itself and say, hey, where do I need to be? And so each time it gets a little message when that goes out, and then it reorients itself so that over time it produces less of the undesirable frequencies and more of the desired frequencies. So I can view this either in this way or this way, and then I can also see where it goes outside the zone with the various frequencies at this level. And what Jeff is looking at is kind of a multimedia screen where he can see these different movements, and again, when he goes outside the range, then the screen will change just a little bit. So I'm not sure what other questions I have, but anything else you would like to share with the people or say about your experience?
If you're not sure, come in and talk to him. The first time I came, I wasn't exactly sure what I was getting into. But he sat here for a good hour and talked to me about what was going on, what he perceived I would be getting through this. And he just sat there and he did a very thorough pre-exam on it. And he makes you feel extremely comfortable. There's no judgments made. No judgments made on why you're here or anything else. Extremely professional, and you will become very comfortable probably within the first week.
Okay, very good.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we just want to do a little addition to what we had just talked about before. Jeff and I were just talking about other changes that he's noticed, one with sensitivity to light and the other with anger management and emotional control.
When I first started coming to him, lights was a very hard thing for me to take, whether it was natural light or artificial light in a room. And now I don't have as much problem with the artificial lighting as I once did. I'm not a big sunglasses kind of guy, so being out in direct sunlight was something I would have to deal with, and I can be out in direct sunlight and it doesn't affect me as much. Anger management, I'm not somebody who can deal with a lot of repetition questions. And I was telling Dr. Lewick how getting ready with my son this morning, who's 9, and Grandma being over there, used to set me off about the constant badgering and the same questions being said, like, eat your breakfast, get your coat, get your coat, get your coat, brush your teeth, give me a hug, give me a kiss. Where in October, early November, that would have just set me off. I would have just not been able to handle it. And today, when it had happened, I kind of laughed and told her I had it handled, and I didn't get upset. This bio-neurofeedback will change your life, only for the good.
Have your kids or family members noticed any changes?
Yes, as a matter of fact, when my son got in the truck today, he had said how impressed he was that I hadn't gotten mad and frustrated with him, considering not being able to find things. I'm a pretty organized person, and when somebody else can't find their stuff where it's supposed to be, it frustrates me. And him running a little behind, not having everything he needed to have before he got in the truck to go to school today, would have frustrated me in the past and today, as well as in the weeks prior to today. It hasn't bothered me. And my 9-year-old son did say today that he was impressed with me being able to handle my frustration.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, one of the things that I appreciate about the neurofeedback is that you don't have to have a problem per se to benefit from it. So this is used with athletes, with people for peak performance training, singers, musicians, whatever. It's a way of just tuning the brain up, helping the brain to work better. So if, whether it's an attention issue, an emotional issue, we've even seen changes in kids with social interactions, being more sensitive to others, caring more about their feelings, being more aware of nonverbal cues, concentration, attention, anger management. So there are all sorts of, anything that the central nervous system is involved in, the neurofeedback works to just improve it and help it to work better. So you can think about what issues you're looking at, and again, I just encourage people to give this a try and see if it will benefit them. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.